You know, when I was in prep school, I learned a few things, you know, years ago.
So.
Years ago. And I had a boxing coach who said, when you're in the ring with a guy and you've hit him with everything you've got and he's still standing, get out of the ring. I'm thinking of this political thing. Hillary Clinton has hit Donald Trump with everything she's got. She's thrown $100 million worth of ads at him.
Oof.
I mean, and everything about his character, he doesn't do this, he can't be leader, he can't be that, and they've done everything. And guess what? Trump is about 1 or 2 points behind her in the poll.
Yeah.
And he hadn't even spent the first ad dollar. And
well, and you know, one of the things he said that I think is so true is I'm out here shooting from the hip per se, speaking off the cuff as opposed to using the teleprompters. I think he's learning that there's a reason people use teleprompters.
That's right.
Because there aren't very many of us that can just stand up and shoot from the hip and not offend somebody. You know?
When we were first in this thing, we didn't have any video or anything. And I was teaching, and I was so tired, I actually went to sleep standing up. And I kept on talking, and I woke up. I wonder what I'd been talking about, and I just, you know, I mean, it was
a little scary.
That's live TV. Okay. Well, anyhow, Trump gave a fantastic speech. Now, he's hired this girl who used to work for Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz is a great guy, and he's a wonderful pollster and a good friend. And she knows how to touch women. And Trump's message out of Charlotte was magnificent. I don't know how many people saw it, but it's made. If he continues on that same course, and he's closing in on Hillary, and then he begins to open up with some really good television. He's got Roger Ailes, we understand, working with him. I mean, this thing can turn around in amazing, because Hillary is very vulnerable, and it gets more. If the economy stays weak, she's going to have a hard time. She's got to carry the burden of the Obama administration. By the way, Aetna pulled out of the health care thing, so the Obamacare is collapsing
slowly but surely.
Well, in a year or two, it'll be gone because it's just it's unsustainable. So okay, you watch what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. But it's remarkable. But remember, when you're in the ring and you hit the guy with everything you've got, and he's still standing, get out of the ring. And I'm afraid Hillary they may be pulling him. We mentioned it yesterday. Say it again. Keep your eyes on what's going to happen with Joe Biden and Hillary. The Democrats are going to pull something if they can. Well, they finally admitted it. $400 million in cash, huge bundles of cash. And the State Department said, oh, no, there was no link between $400 million in Iran and the release of American hostages. We're not paying cash for hostages. The department says the money was indeed tied into the release of those Americans. They finally come clean on it. And guess what? The price of each prisoner has gone up dramatically.
Well, that embarrassment for the Obama administration comes as a new image of a little boy caught in the horrors of battle is reminding us all, the whole world, about the tragic war in Syria. Gary Lane has that story.
It's a video image that is touching hearts and minds around the world, one that refocuses attention on the Syrian civil war. Rescuers pulled 5-year-old Omran Daknish from the rubble of his bombed-out apartment building in Aleppo. Injured and in shock as a result of a Syrian government airstrike, the boy wipes his brow and discovers that he is bleeding. The images were captured by Aleppo Media Center, a group that has documented human rights atrocities committed by the Assad regime. They included the continued use of cluster bombs and chemical weapons, despite President Obama's drawing of a red line against their use 3 years ago. Under threat of U.S. airstrikes, the Syrian government backed down and said it would either turn over or destroy its chemical weapons stockpile. Although evidence suggests the government is still using the weapons, the U.S. has taken no action to stop the regime. Fighting has intensified in Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city, where the government wants a victory against anti-regime rebels. A major win here may lead to an end to the 5.5-year-old war and the suffering of millions like little Omran. But on-again, off-again peace talks in Geneva center on one major issue: President Assad and his government being forced from power. Many people here in Damascus, and Christians included, say they want Bashar al-Assad to stay. But the opposition negotiators meeting in Geneva say there won't be peace until he goes. And that may cause the war to drag on for many months and even years to come. Meanwhile, in Washington, Republicans are slamming President Obama for making a $400 million cash payment to Iran in exchange for the release of 3 American prisoners. House Speaker Paul Ryan said the administration has misled the country about the ransom for hostages deal since January. Ryan's remarks came Thursday after the State Department admitted the payment was made, only after the prisoners were released.
We, of course, sought to retain maximum leverage until after American citizens were released. That was our top priority.
That also led to a stinging rebuke of Obama from Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump.
He said, "We don't pay ransom," but we did. He lied about the hostages openly and blatantly, just like he lied about Obamacare.
No word yet from Hillary Clinton about the Iran exchange and the State Department admission. President Obama insists there was no quid pro quo. Critics say even if the president is right, there was no money exchanged for prisoners. It appears there was, and that means more Americans may have a bounty on their heads in the future. Gary Lane, CBN News.
Isn't it amazing? How many times are they going to lie in Washington? How often are they going to lie? Hillary lied through her teeth over and over again, lied. And the president, you remember, if you like your doctor, you can keep him. If you like your health care, you can keep it. Blatant lies, and he knew there were lies. And well, anyhow, here at home, Donald Trump had a surprising admission in a speech last night. Was this a new, humbler, gentler Donald we're seeing? John Jessup.
That's right, Pat. Donald Trump expressed regret for some of his past remarks on the campaign trail. In a speech Thursday night, Trump didn't mention anything specific, but he did admit he hasn't always chosen the right words. That was before criticizing Hillary Clinton for a lack of honesty.
Sometimes, in the heat of debate and speaking on a multitude of issues, you don't choose the right words, or you say the wrong thing. I have done that. And believe it or not, I regret it. While sometimes I can be too honest, Hillary Clinton is the exact opposite. She never tells the truth. One lie after another, and getting worse with each passing day.
Trump is trailing Clinton by 4 points, according to a new research poll, 41% to 37%, with just over 2.5 months until Election Day. Well, former President Bill Clinton says the Clinton Foundation will stop accepting foreign and corporate donations if Hillary Clinton is elected president. Critics have argued the Clinton Foundation created conflicts of interest, potentially allowing foreign governments to buy influence with Mrs. Clinton when she was Secretary of State. And both Republicans and Democrats have questioned the foundation's acceptance of money from countries like Saudi Arabia. Pat, back to you.
Thank you. It wasn't just Saudi Arabia. It was every dictator you can think of. They were buying access to the White House, and also access to Bill Clinton and access to the Secretary of State when his wife was Secretary of State. It was a shady, shocking misuse of power. And to say that he won't receive any more of it is ridiculous. They have received, I don't know, a couple of $1 billion. It is the most incredible fundraising mechanism I have ever witnessed in all my life in the charitable realm. Some businesses may be making more, but few have made what the Clinton Foundation has made. And it's just a slush fund for Bill and Hillary. And you know, well, we're not going to take any more donations from these nasty people. Yeah, in your dreams. John?
Pat, Donald Trump is visiting Louisiana to see the devastation caused by the historic flooding there. That, as the White House says President Obama has no plans of interrupting his vacation to travel to the flooded region. Meanwhile, some residents in Louisiana are beginning to return home to assess the damage, and Operation Blessing is stepping in to help those in need. Yesterday, Operation Blessing boats delivered food and water to families who were still stranded.
We're completely surrounded by water here, delivering water, sandwiches, bleach, toilet paper to folks that are still stranded in their homes and not willing to leave.
The people there are grateful for the help because aid has been scarce due to the dangerously high waters.
This is the first time ever that I've seen water over Highway 22 the way I've seen it these last few days. Y'all the first ones that I've seen come through with water and any kind of sandwiches. They were supposed to come through yesterday, and the truck come through and, well, come so far, and they turned around and went back toward Head of Island, toward French Settlement Way, and never even made it this way.
Operation Blessing says it will continue to work tirelessly to bring the love of Christ where it's needed. And you can find out how to help Operation Blessing bring hope to those flood victims by donating or volunteering. For more information, visit their website at ob.org. Pat?
I'm so proud of Bill Horan and the team. I mean, they're down there where people are hurting. And I was in Katrina shortly after that disaster down there and saw the work of Operation Blessing. And I may say saw the screw up of FEMA. It was just disgraceful how bad they were. I mean, disgraceful. We saw it firsthand. We were there, feeding, I think, about 30,000 hot meals a day and so forth. I mean, Operation Blessing is really there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a worthy cause and one of the most efficient charities in the whole United States of America or in the world. And again, it's Operation Blessing. It's Operation Blessing Disaster Relief, CBN.com. You can reach them. There's the number, CBN Center. But they're not stopping. Those floodwaters haven't receded yet. And they're still there, and the people are still hurting, and they still need, they need tools, and they need volunteers, and they need supplies. They need all the things we're bringing them. John?
Pat, 2 American swimmers head home from the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro today. That's one day after being pulled off a plane to testify about an alleged robbery. Police in Brazil say their story was made up. The lawyer for a 3rd U.S. swimmer said he would make a payment of $10,800 and leave Brazil later today. The drama came as a shock and deeply angered many Brazilians who say it's cast a negative shadow over their city and the Games. The U.S. Olympic Committee apologized to the hosts in Rio and the people of Brazil. But the U.S. team has performed superbly, dominating in the medal count. And a reminder, we have a special section on CBNnews.com featuring the faith of the Olympians from a wide range of sports.